guess we can start from the beginning again. So speaking of Jack not seeing things, I learned last night that Jack has not seen the original Mean Girls.
I've never seen the original Mean Girls because I've never been around a girl, so don't have a reason to watch Lindsay Lohan in her high school.
Well, I think it's interesting that you haven't seen it because the new one that just came out is pretty much a exact copy of the original, except that now that there are songs in it. So the script is generally the same, but then every now and then Renee Rapp comes out and says, "My name is Regina George," and that's kind
There's
of
got to
like
be
the
more
difference.
gay in it, right? Janice, she's kind of like the main character in this one, which is weird. I mean, she starts the thing off.
She kind of is the main character because the girl playing Katie has very little to offer as a character, and it's kind of like this empty husk that the movie revolves around, which is very different from the original because Lindsay Lohan, I think, did a great job in this one. And what's the girl's name? Angourie Rice, I think, is the actress. She did not do as good of a job. I think that she was a pretty bland Katie.
Wait. Okay. I was thinking of Renee Rapp. Renee Rapp was good.
Rapp, she did a great job. I thought she killed it.
Yeah, Angourie Rice does a good job of playing like a blank slate character, I guess.
Yeah,
which was her job.
Not a lot of personality going on with the way that she portrayed Katie. Unfortunately, all of her songs are really bad. Regina's songs are all pretty great, but I've heard from a friend of ours that apparently they cut a lot of the original songs that were in the musical. And so the movie is basically the same movie, and then every now and then they break out into song and dance, and then they go back to being a movie again. And it's kind of weird and like it's pretty tonally dissonant because the transitions into the songs are all very abrupt and kind of crazy.
Well, I mean, neither of us have seen the musical, right? The Broadway musical. Have you?
No, I have not seen the Broadway musical.
I haven't seen that. I don't come from musicals, so like I did not notice whatever jarring, unwatchable abruptness that they're talking about. Like that's for me, musicals are it's a movie, and then every once in a while, characters like just starts dancing. It's like, oh, here we go. So it was fine.
They're doing the stanky leg in the middle of the
and it's
hallway.
like, camera zoom in on that guy doing the stanky leg. I did want to say with Renee Rapp, her songs were good, but also maybe this is just a thing with the theater or something. In almost all of her songs, I think she has 3. She looks like Billie Eilish kind of, and then she's doing like the Billie Eilish kind of like sexy syrupy like inflection to her voice, you know?
Yeah.
Sing like this. And I could not, in her first song especially, I could not understand a fucking word that she's saying.
Yeah, that was a big
she's just
problem.
drooling out all of her syllables for the whole song. And then she's like, my name is Regina. And I literally had no idea what the lyrics were in that song. And it was the same problem for the second one. Which was the coolest song, though, the second song in the party.
Oh, yeah. I forgot what that song is called, but yes, that song is cool.
I don't remember any of the songs. But that was the coolest one in the party where she kisses the dude. Still couldn't understand a word she was saying.
Yeah.
So it kind of ruined those songs for me.
Enunciation is not necessarily the movie's strong suit. But what I do think the movie's strong suit is that everyone is pretty hot. And everyone also does a pretty good job with, I think, selling the characters. Aside from Angourie Rice, who plays Katie, I don't think that she did a great job.
The acting was surprisingly good.
Yeah,
all the performances are surprisingly good. I really liked the Damien guy.
Yeah, he did a great job.
And Regina. Yeah, no, he got usually. You know, in your high school movies of old, like those characters are really fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Like the comic relief characters are never funny, but he was actually pretty funny and likable. So he was probably one of my favorite parts besides Regina. Like Regina and him, Slade.
Yeah, I
You're
think.
right.
So, am I using that word right?
Slade. Fact checkers.
Can you guys please? But yeah, I agree. I would agree with you. I think that the movie overall was like a pretty enjoyable romp. Because, well, for me, it was enjoyable because I was like, oh, I remember that from the original movie, because they don't really change that much. So like, it was a pretty good like popcorn film. Like, my girlfriend is obsessed with Renee Rapp. So every time that she came on screen, she was in the seat next to me going like, "Oh, girl," like, screaming her head off every time that Renee Rapp came on screen. But I think that overall the movie was just like, I was like, this is good. It was a good time. I didn't really think it was, groundbreaking or anything.
That's kind of the reaction I had to it. Like, it studios just know how to make like a fine crowd pleasing movie now.
Mm-hmm.
Like a bunch of the last, I mean, let me look on my thing. Like Poor Things was interesting, but then like it's this what I see a couple months ago, like there was Oppenheimer, Barbie, there was fucking the Indiana Jones one. There's like all these movies that I've seen in theaters that are like fine. Like
Yeah.
they're watchable and like good, I guess, but I don't know. I wanted to see something. I wanted it to be really bad or really good, but it was just like yeah, it's fine.
It's
It's a
just,
movie.
yeah, it was just very middle of the road, I guess. But I will say that overall, I think that this movie finally cemented in my head that any use of social media in any film is just inherently cringe, even when it's kind of accurate. The mixing of the mediums just does not come off well, no matter the context. And I think that, like, specifically the use of TikTok in this movie was just so, like, off-putting and just did not mix well and was incredibly cringe, and I did not enjoy any of the scenes where there was like a vertical video on screen. I was like, why is this on my movie theater screen? Get it off there, and I want to see it.
I feel like it. I don't know. I feel like I've seen that enough times in high school movies. That's like a genre, right? The high school movie.
Yeah, it's like
That
a
I'm kind
teen
of
film.
desensitized to it. Yeah, teen movies, whatever, comedies. But like specifically all about high school and like the microcosm of high school or whatever.
I don't
So I was kind
know.
of desensitized to it. I kind of didn't even notice it
It just
when it
it
was
just
happening. Like, yeah, they're doing
feels
this.
it just feels so phony. It's like when you see like a character texting in a movie, and like the
Okay, I hated when the bubble popped
yeah,
up for the first time
like
because
the
it hadn't happened the entire rest of the movie,
yeah.
and then they did the iMessage bubble popping up like every movie does, and like I don't know, it's kind of just it kind of comes with the territory at this point, right? Like that's just part of the style of a high school
I
teen
guess
movie.
it was just, it feels so just cringe, and like, how do you do, fellow kids, to me. And so
I know
I
I'm
really
past cringing at it.
I
It's
really just
just I've
can't, like,
accepted it.
I think any use of social media, especially TikTok, because like this was kind of accurate. I feel like when they were like showing people like reacting on TikTok or whatever, I feel like
When they showed Megan the Stallion reacting on TikTok, that was her, right?
that was her, yeah. And I
Yeah,
was
she'll
like,
do anything for a
I was
paycheck.
like, love to see you, Meg. But I would have appreciated just the music video and not like the cameo. I don't think was super necessary, especially like, in the way that it was done. I like Megan Thee Stallion. I just think that any sort of like usage of like a For You page in a movie just makes me not enjoy it, no matter
She just
what.
had to film that on her own phone in her own house for 5 minutes, and she got $2 million.
Probably. Yeah, I don't know. There's not really a lot to say. I think a lot of people criticizing it online are basically just like comparing it to the original and saying that it's not as good. I saw a common criticism being that the guy who's playing Aaron Samuels, who is like the boy of the
Is he the
film,
boy? Okay.
it was like not hot enough to be in,
He
like, to
kind
be
of
Aaron
wasn't hot
Samuels.
enough. I kind of get that criticism.
Not to be
So
mean, he's very cute. He's just more boy next door and not really like soccer star like.
He would make a very.
Slow
I'm looking at his
motion.
headshot right now. He would make a very good, like, hot sailor at sea during the 1600s who kind of, like, casts away and has to return to his love.
During the war. Yeah.
Yeah. So, not. I get that criticism though.
Yeah.
When he came on, I was like, why does he look like a sailor at sea?
Why is this like a Victorian era child?
Kinda, yeah. He has like this old beauty to him. I don't know. Not really a modern beauty.
So I think that also it was pretty interesting. There's a lot of nods to the original one in here, which I think, it does,
I did not pick up on.
You choose not to pick up on.
Besides the get in. I knew that one.
Did you know that Lindsay Lohan was the moderator in the quiz off?
Yeah,
at
you
the end?
fucking. my female friend was on her phone when Lindsay Lohan came on screen, and I had to nudge her like, "Look, I know this thing. You know it.
I know who that is." Yeah. Yeah, and there's the stuff like the principal who is in the movie, who was pretty funny, was also the principal in the original. And so him reprising his role was pretty funny.
Was?
And Tina Fey also
good for
reprises
Tim.
her role too. So like that was,
What was your favorite song?
My favorite song was
I said mine.
Probably Watch the World Burn, which is the Renee Rapp one where she's like writing.
She drops the book on the
she drops the book on the floor, and then there's that one shot where she's like arms crossed in the hallway with like red lights in the front and a white light like backlighting her.
I got a lot of laughs,
and it like looks like a college sports media day thing that she's doing, which made me laugh. That or the one where they're all pretending to be animals, because the choreography in that one's pretty good.
That got a lot of laughs too. It was all the musical numbers were pretty well done, and like the comedy was it landed for the most part. I didn't like laugh all the time.
There were a couple duds, but for the most part, I think
like what? I don't remember really cringing at any of it.
I did not like the sex cancer joke, and also most of Karen's.
I cringed at that. That scene, that whole song.
Yeah,
the sex cancer song. I didn't think that actress was going to get a song like that.
Bro, everybody online loves her.
Well, I mean, she does slay, but I didn't.
She does.
She has the honorary slay.
She does bust it down, and I think that, obviously it's very cool that she got to be elevated, and I think that she did a great job. It's like this is her first big acting break, but I just thought that a lot of her writing was really just not great, and also she had like a baby voice for like the first half, and she would occasionally like drop in and out of the baby voice, but whenever the baby voice was used, I was like, please stop. It made me cringe real hard, because I was like, I don't like this part.
I did not expect her to get like a full 3-minute song with like talk breaks in it and then back into song.
A dance break as well.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was the biggest cringe in the movie. They're like,
dance break.
Let's all twerk, and then they do that.
Let's bust it down real quick.
10 seconds.
And my girlfriend also was saying that like in a lot of the camera work in that scene was like specifically just like on her boobs the entire time, and it was like, yeah, the song is called "Sexy" and that's like a whole part of it, but it just felt like very in your face. What
does she mean? What did she mean in that scene? Like the camera's on her, she has her tits out in every scene she's in, bro.
That's true.
Like that's the point of the character.
Yeah. I don't really have a lot to say about it. Besides, I didn't like the social media use. I thought that it was enjoyable but not groundbreaking, and the cameos were, I guess, tasteful. But again, it's basically just like the same movie but with a couple songs here and there. So it's not really, getting me anything different than I would be if I watched the first one. I just every now and then I get to see Renee Rapp and go like, yay, I like her music.
And I thought it was a movie, and it was better than I was expecting, because I'm like not a fan of musicals or Mean Girls, but I didn't cringe that much as I often do in movies set in high schools with like people playing teenagers. and the songs, I found myself tapping my foot now and then. So the
like
visuals during the musical numbers were pretty good. What?
Like the reluctant authority figure who's like standing with his arms crossed in the corner of the school dance, and all of a sudden he starts tapping his foot.
But I find myself tapping my foot.
He's like, wait a minute, these kids, they can sing.
Wait a second, these kids actually kind of slay a little bit.
These kids are
kind of sexy. Have kids gotten sexier?
These kids are kind of
since
serving
2004.
Kids are kind of serving cunt.
Tina Fey, these kids are kind of serving cunt. I didn't know that Tina Fey and Tim Meadows were married until the end, where they do that.
Yeah,
I didn't watch the first movie.
I don't think.
Wait, were they married in the first movie?
No, but they had like a flirt. They were like flirting in the first movie,
right? So it's like a
callback. Yeah,
that's what I figured because now they're together.
Yeah,
and John Hamm is in it for a scene.
He's in it for like 10 seconds. Yeah,
all these people you know.
Yeah, it's like jangling keys in front of your face. Like, look, you recognize this one.
So I would give it a kind of bitter 3 stars for another movie that I could have just waited until it was on streaming to watch. I didn't have to pay to go to the fucking theater to experience it. But like, if I were to watch it on streaming, like, I enjoyed it. It's like worth your time. So if you like this stuff, so whatever, it's fine. Done.